Welcome to the Law School Success Series with Lexis, Federal Judicial Externships. My name is Oscar Cobos, your LexisNexis research attorney. As a judicial intern, you will be responsible for legal research, reviewing pleadings and motions filed by parties in a case, drafting orders, opinions, and memos for your judge. This video will cover the tools available on Lexis, which will make your research easier and how to understand your judge, their docket flow, citations, and their writing style. Before we begin, a quick note. Lexis has created a Prepare to Clerk and Intern program which you can refer back to throughout your externship to review and reinforce the skills discussed here. You can access it at lexisnexis.com/us-clerks. So let's get started by accessing Lexis Plus. Upon first arriving to the court, be sure to contact your librarian to request your U.S. Court Lexis ID. While you may use your school ID, many courts prefer you use one through its account. It allows them to track usage and provides you with additional resources such as regulated public records. So, you'll want to be sure to access these materials. Before you first start your externship, it is a good idea to get to know your judge and their docket using the Litigation Profile Suite. For example, if you are externing in the Eastern District of Texas for Judge Rodney Gilstrap, you'd want to access LPS by using the product switcher in the upper left corner. After you access it, select Judge from the drop-down menu and begin to type your judge's name. Be sure to select the proper judge and the proper court from the drop-down. From here, you can access your judge's profile. This profile will provide you information on your judge, the type of cases and motions that come before them, so you can get an idea for the day-to-day workflow. You can also see scholarly publications and mentions in news and legal news. This gives you some insight into the court and your judge's interest. You can stay up to date on this information by running a search on Lexis Plus. You'll want to create a search with the first name within 3 words of the last name for your judge. Then use the sources filter to select Law 360 and any other sources you would like. Once you have done so, scroll back to the top and select the bell icon. This will monitor for legal news and set up a delivery schedule as updates are available. Lexis will now search for new developments responsive to your terms and notify you when there are results to view. In the Deliver tab, you will be able to set up how often you want these alerts delivered. For example, if you wanted them weekly, select that and then select the appropriate date and time that you would like them and select Create Alert. Now that you know your judge, it is time to understand their writing style and the cases they prefer to cite. For this, let's go back to the Lexis Plus homepage. For the first part, let's go to Advanced Search under the search box, and then under the Select a Specific Content Type, we will select Cases. This will provide us quick access to all the segments that are searchable on Lexis. If you think of a given document, each has a dedicated section. For example, judges, attorneys, opinion, the court, and parties, etc. Here, we can see that there is a specific search for written by. Within this, enter your judge's name, again using the \3 to separate first and last name, and the system will build your segment search. You could further narrow by using post-search filters to look for a specific issue you are working on to see if your judge has drafted an opinion for this previously, and you can get a feel for how they structure their opinions and their writing style. From here, we'll want to access Context. Again, use the product switcher. Context is the only case law-based language analytics tool available. It allows you to forecast the type of language your judge may use and the sources they are most likely to cite, up to 100 motion types. Again, we'll select Judge from the drop-down menu, then begin to type their name and select them from the drop-down. The first tab will be an overview. Here you can view the judge's experience, the opinions by area of law, the opinions per year, education, and their contact information. Let's go now to the second tab, Analytics. From here, we can view the number of times a given motion has been ruled on and the number of times it was granted, partially granted, or denied. So for example, you are interested in a motion to change venue for a patent. The first thing we could do is expand our filters and narrow by practice area. We can see the judge has ruled on 30 motions of this nature. 5 of these were granted, and 22 have been denied. You can also see the language itself by selecting either the green, red, or blue bar, depending on what you want to see. This provides us background on the arguments the judge finds persuasive and those they do not. Let's now check out citation patterns. Again, we will use our filters and narrow by practice area, as well as the motion type. What we now have is cases that are most commonly cited by your judge. Additionally, on the right, we can see the language the judge uses when citing. You'll note that our language analytics is able to determine the underlying statements or intent despite variations in language. So if I select the more like this, I can see the different ways in which the judge has cited to VW within motions to transfer venue cases on patents to this specific section. Thus, we can understand what portions of the case are being cited to and the different ways in which the judge has cited to this portion of the case. Let's now return to Lexis+. Let's take a look at how you can perform legal research to draft an opinion. This is a significant portion of the practice of law. As always, you will start with secondary sources to get up to speed on an unfamiliar area of the law. For this, you'll have to access Practice Centers. From the Lexis+ homepage, scroll down to Explore. From here, select the practice area, and scroll down some more and you will see View Our Practice Centers. Under Practice Centers, you'll note there's a Federal Civil Litigation Practice area. From this page, you can access practice guides like the Wagstaff Practice Guide, Federal Civil Procedure Before Trial. In addition, you can access the Federal Litigation Guide and the Federal Trial Guide. You can also access helpful treatises like Moore's Federal Practice, Civil. You can also access briefs, pleadings, motions, checklists, and forms. These sources are invaluable to you, so remember they are available. Now, you can also access sources, table of contents, or indices from the search box by typing the name of the title of your source. Or the other option is to scroll down to Explore, select Sources, and use the search box to search across all sources for the terms you listed in the title or within the description of your source. So, let's say your judge wants to determine whether summary judgment should be granted when an insurance policy's terms are ambiguous. Does the summary judgment standard require a jury to hear the case on facts, or can it be decided as a matter of law? A quick way to find focus documents on a particular legal topic is to take advantage of Legal Digest. This system can ensure the documents you find are on point for your topic and provide you a solid foundation to further your research. Lexis attorney editors have used their experience to analyze cases to determine how best the headnotes might be categorized within this topic digest. Headnotes are written and categorized within 48 to 72 hours of an editor receiving them, ensuring all legal issues are up to date and adapted to the law. Now, we can either search or browse for a topic. In this instance, we may want to select Civil Procedure. From here, we can expand the Judgments tab, and we can do the same for Summary Judgment. We can scroll down and select General Overview. We now have a list of cases where the headnote has specifically been listed as a summary judgment-based issue. We can then use the search within results to look for Summary Judgment Standard. Once your list of cases pulls up, scroll through them and find the one that matches your terms. Once you find that case, you can scroll down and review the headnotes, and as we can see, in this case, Headnote 1 tells us that summary judgment is appropriate where the moving party shows that there is no genuine dispute as to any material fact and that the movant is entitled to judgment as a matter of law. One thing to note is that when using the search within results with terms and connectors, Lexis will stem and root words for you. Notice, I typed interpret. It also searched for interpretation, interpretations, and interpret. There are 2 limitations to this stemming. 1. If the word's variation of spelling changes, for example, money changes to monies, that will not be root expanded. The other is when a legal phrase, like act or accord, it will not change to acting and according. So just keep those in mind. You can also access dockets. Using the product switcher, select Lexis Advanced Court Link. Once you access Court Link, you can then type in the name of your court. Here we will use the Texas Eastern. But as you can see, once I begin to type, the wheel populates any other possibilities. However, this is very simple. Just select the name of your court, and then you can further filter by searching court documents. Once here, we can run our search for Summary Judgment Standard and interpret within the same sentence as policy, within the same sentence as insurance. We can then filter to motions and view motions filed on this topic. You can also access dockets. From the Court Link homepage, we will then select our court. In this instance, we will select the Texas Northern. Doing so will change all the searchable fields below, allowing us to search by docket number, attorney, judge, litigant, law firm, and other filters. Let's search for this particular docket number. From here, we can access the docket itself. The docket will provide a list of all the information, actions, and a link into any file document for your given docket. Additionally, on the right-hand side, we can access the Lex Machina Legal Analytics. This provides us a quick information summary or overview on a given judge, attorney, or firm. In the case of a judge, we can see how often they see specific types of cases compared to fellow justices. We can also see how many cases are filed by year based on type, as well as general information on timing. For example, how long a motion takes to move through the court. Based on your research, the judge has decided to grant the summary judgment motion, and you have been tasked with drafting the order. Back on the Lexis Plus homepage, you can access examples of orders. You can do this by searching for order within 20 of whatever type of order you are looking for. In this instance, judgment. Once you run that search, you will want to use your filters and go to forms. Another filter you could use here is the jurisdiction one. If you happen to not locate the form that you need, you can always use a treatise within secondary materials. In order to do this, you will have to select a category again and select secondary materials. From here, use the category to filter to treatises. Once you filter to treatises, open sources and look for those in which the term is included in the title. Bender's forms for the civil practice and Bender's federal practice forms are great resources to add to your favorites. Should you have any questions on what was covered today or want additional training, do not hesitate to reach out to me. You also have the 24/7 hotline found at the bottom of the research homepage and the live chat support option found under the 3 vertical dots in the upper right-hand corner. An additional resource is your designated Lexis Federal Government Consultant. They will provide specialized classes pre-arranged by the court, specifically tailored to the needs of its employees. Take advantage of these sources. Congrats on your federal externship, and good luck.